Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers Channel. Today, we will learn about the devastating loss that has shaken the entire soap opera community and left millions of devoted fans in profound mourning. The legendary Anthony Geary, the actor who brilliantly brought the iconic character Luke Spencer to life on General Hospital, has passed away at the age of 78, leaving behind an incomparable legacy that transformed daytime television forever. The heartbreaking news. The tragic announcement came on Sunday, December 14th, sending shockwaves throughout the entertainment industry and breaking the hearts of countless fans who grew up watching Geary's masterful performances. According to reports, the beloved actor succumbed to complications arising from a surgical procedure that had been performed just 3 days prior to his passing. The medical intervention, which was reportedly intended to address a long-standing health concern, unfortunately led to unexpected complications that ultimately proved fatal. Those close to Geary described the rapid deterioration as both shocking and heartbreaking, as the actor had been in relatively good spirits before entering the hospital. Friends and family members who were present during his final days spoke of Geary's characteristic strength and grace, even as he faced his most challenging battle. The actor, known for his fierce independence and vibrant personality, maintained his dignity throughout the ordeal. Medical professionals worked tirelessly to stabilize his condition following the surgery, but despite their best efforts and the most advanced treatments available, Geary's body could not overcome the severe complications that developed. The loss has left an enormous void not just in the hearts of his loved ones, but in the entire daytime drama community that revered him as one of its greatest talents. An unparalleled legacy on General Hospital. Anthony Geary's portrayal of Luke Spencer wasn't merely a role, it was a cultural phenomenon that redefined what daytime television could achieve. From 1978 to 2017, spanning nearly 4 decades, Geary inhabited the character of Luke with such depth, complexity, and authenticity that the line between actor and character often seemed to blur. His on-again, off-again tenure with the show allowed him to bring fresh energy and perspective to the role each time he returned, keeping Luke Spencer perpetually relevant and compelling across multiple generations of viewers. The character of Luke Spencer evolved remarkably over the years under Geary's nuanced interpretation. Beginning as a controversial anti-hero with a dark past, Luke transformed into one of daytime television's most beloved and multifaceted characters. Geary's ability to convey vulnerability beneath Luke's roguish exterior, to balance humor with heartbreak, and to make even the most outlandish storylines believable through sheer force of his talent, set a new standard for soap opera acting. His chemistry with fellow cast members was electric, creating moments of television magic that fans still discuss with reverence today. Record-breaking Emmy success. Geary's trophy case tells the story of an actor at the absolute pinnacle of his craft. With 8 daytime Emmy Awards to his name, he holds the record as the most awarded actor in the history of the Daytime Emmy Awards. This unprecedented achievement wasn't just about quantity, each win represented a different facet of Geary's extraordinary range as a performer. From heart-wrenching dramatic scenes that left viewers in tears to comedic moments that showcased his impeccable timing, Geary demonstrated time and again why he was considered the gold standard in daytime drama. The Emmy voters recognized what fans had known all along, that Geary brought a level of sophistication and emotional authenticity to daytime television that elevated the entire medium. His acceptance speeches were often memorable in their own right, displaying the same wit, humility, and genuine appreciation that characterized his approach to his craft. Industry insiders often noted that whenever Geary was nominated, it was essentially a question of which performance would win, as his body of work in any given year was consistently outstanding. His 8 Emmy victories inspired countless young actors entering the field of daytime drama, setting a benchmark that many aspired to but few could match. The legendary Luke and Laura romance. The love story between Luke Spencer and Laura Weber, portrayed by Jeannie Francis, became nothing short of a cultural phenomenon that transcended the boundaries of daytime television. Their romance captured the imagination of America in a way that soap opera storylines rarely achieve, creating a template for the super couple phenomenon that would influence television for decades to come. The chemistry between Geary and Frances was instantaneous, palpable, and utterly mesmerizing, drawing viewers into their world with an intensity that made every episode unmissable. Their wedding episode, which aired in November 1981, remains one of the most significant moments in television history. An astonishing 30 million viewers tuned in to watch Luke and Laura exchange their vows, making it the highest-rated hour in soap opera history, a record that still stands today. The event was so monumental that it stopped the nation, with offices reportedly allowing extended lunch breaks so employees could watch, and schools reporting unusual absences. The wedding wasn't just a television event. It was a genuine cultural moment that demonstrated the power of well-crafted storytelling and authentic performances to unite audiences across all demographics. Mainstream recognition and Elizabeth Taylor's involvement. The unprecedented success of Luke and Laura's wedding catapulted Geary and Frances beyond the typical boundaries of daytime television fame into mainstream celebrity status. In 1981, the duo graced the cover of Newsweek, a prestigious honor that acknowledged their impact extended far beyond the soap opera audience. Their appearance on People magazine's cover, alongside none other than Hollywood royalty Elizabeth Taylor, cemented their place in popular culture. Taylor, a devoted General Hospital fan, had specifically requested to appear on the show during the wedding episodes, taking on the role of the villainess Helena Casadini. Taylor's participation added an extra layer of glamour and legitimacy to the proceedings, but more importantly, it demonstrated the show's cultural reach when one of the world's biggest movie stars was eager to be part of the celebration. The collaboration between Geary, Frances, and Taylor created television magic, with behind-the-scenes stories revealing the mutual admiration and professional respect shared among these three talented performers. Taylor later spoke glowingly of Geary's professionalism and talent, noting that he was every bit as skilled as any actor she had worked with in her illustrious film career. Beyond General Hospital, a diverse career. While Luke Spencer defined Geary's career, the actor's talents extended far beyond Port Charles. His filmography included notable appearances in diverse projects that showcased his versatility. He appeared in Weird Al Yankovic's cult comedy film UHF, bringing his dramatic gravitas to a comedic setting. His roles in Carpool Guy and You Can't Hurry Love demonstrated his ability to adapt to different genres and formats, proving that his skills transcended the daytime drama medium. Television audiences also knew Geary from his memorable guest appearances on iconic primetime shows. He appeared on The Mod Squad during its groundbreaking run, brought his talents to The Partridge Family, and had a notable stint on the legendary sitcom All in the Family. These diverse roles allowed Geary to stretch his acting muscles in ways that complemented his soap opera work, keeping his craft sharp and his performances fresh. Each appearance demonstrated the same commitment to authenticity and character development that made his portrayal of Luke Spencer so compelling. Passion for theater. Geary's love affair with live theater ran deep, representing perhaps his truest artistic passion. Over his distinguished career, he participated in more than 50 stage productions, ranging from classical Shakespeare to contemporary dramas. The immediacy and vulnerability required in live performance appealed to Geary's artistic sensibilities, offering him opportunities to explore characters without the safety net of retakes or editing. His stage work earned him critical acclaim and allowed him to maintain a connection to his theatrical roots even as television fame grew. Theater colleagues remembered Geary as a dedicated professional who approached every performance with the same intensity, whether playing to a packed Broadway house or a small regional theater. His commitment to the craft of acting in its purest form influenced his screen work, bringing a theatrical depth and presence to his television performances that set him apart from many of his contemporaries. Final professional endeavor. In a poignant twist of fate, Just one day before his scheduled surgery, Anthony Geary filmed what would become his final scene as an actor. Working alongside Anders Hove on an as-yet-unreleased project, Geary demonstrated his unwavering dedication to his craft until the very end. Those present during the filming described Geary as energetic, focused, and thoroughly professional, giving no indication of the health challenges he was about to face. The footage, which is scheduled for future release, will serve as a bittersweet farewell from an actor who never stopped working, never stopped creating, and never lost his passion for storytelling. The project's producers have indicated that they plan to honor Geary's memory by completing and releasing the work, ensuring that fans will have one final opportunity to see the master at work. Details about the project remain closely guarded, but those involved describe Geary's performance as characteristically powerful and nuanced, a fitting capstone to an extraordinary career, personal life, and enduring love. Anthony Geary found profound happiness in his personal life with his husband, Claudio Gama, who stood by his side throughout their relationship. Gama's devotion to Geary was evident in the tender moments he shared on social media, giving fans glimpses into their life together. Just weeks before Geary's passing, Gama posted a touching video of his husband watching former General Hospital co-stars Maurice Bernard and Jeannie Francis on the State of Mind podcast. Gama's caption captured Geary's sentiment. "It really made Tony very happy. He told me, those are two lovely and talented people, great friends, and I miss them." These words now carry added poignancy, revealing the depth of Geary's connections to his General Hospital family and the genuine affection that persisted long after his departure from the show. Commemorating a legend, General Hospital faces the bittersweet task of honoring one of its greatest stars. Although Luke Spencer was written out of the show and confirmed dead on canvas in 2022, the soap opera is expected to create a special tribute episode or series of episodes commemorating Anthony Geary's immeasurable contributions. Such tributes typically feature clips from iconic moments, testimonials from cast and crew members, and potentially special appearances by former co-stars. Given Geary's monumental impact on the show and the genre itself, fans anticipate an appropriately grand celebration of his life and legacy. The outpouring of grief and appreciation from the soap opera community has been overwhelming, with current and former cast members, writers, producers, and fans sharing memories and expressing gratitude for the joy Geary brought into their lives. His influence on General Hospital cannot be overstated. He helped define the show's identity during its most successful era and created a character that will forever remain in the hearts of fans worldwide. On behalf of everyone here at our channel, we extend our deepest condolences to Anthony Geary's beloved husband Claudio, his family members, friends, professional peers, and the millions of fans whose lives he touched through his remarkable artistry. The world of daytime drama has lost one of its brightest stars, but his legacy will continue to inspire generations of actors and entertain audiences for years to come through the timeless performances he left behind. Next, we will learn about the shocking developments surrounding Charlotte Casadini and her fugitive father Valentine Casadini, as dramatic confessions and secret meetings threaten to expose everything in Port Charles this week. Charlotte's determination to reunite. The upcoming episodes of General Hospital promise explosive revelations as Charlotte Casadini prepares to make a stunning confession that could change everything. However, those who know Charlotte understand that simply hearing confirmation about her father Valentine Casadini's safety won't be nearly enough to satisfy this determined young woman. Charlotte has always been fiercely protective of her papa, and the bond between them runs deeper than most father-daughter relationships in Port Charles. She's not the type to sit idly by while her father remains in hiding, separated from her by circumstances beyond their control. Instead, Charlotte is expected to take matters into her own hands by actively seeking out Valentine and arranging clandestine meetings with him. This behavior is completely in character For someone who has already demonstrated time and again that she'll go to extraordinary lengths to protect the people she loves. The question isn't whether Charlotte will try to find her father, but rather how she'll manage to pull it off without getting caught by the authorities or her mother, Lulu Spencer, who would be absolutely furious if she discovered what Charlotte was planning. Valentin's complex mission. The situation becomes even more complicated when we consider Valentin's current predicament and his reasons for remaining in Port Charles despite being a wanted fugitive, rather than fleeing town immediately with Charlotte to start a new life somewhere far away from the reach of Port Charles law enforcement. Valentin has made the calculated decision to stay and finish what he started. He's currently engaged in a dangerous partnership with Carly, working together on a critical mission to bring down the formidable and ruthless Jack Brennan, whose influence extends far beyond what most people in Port Charles realize. This alliance between Valentin and Carly represents an unlikely but potentially powerful combination of resources, connections, and shared motivations. Both have reasons to want Brennan neutralized, and both possess the skills and determination necessary to see their plan through to completion. However, their partnership also adds another layer of risk to an already precarious situation, as any misstep could expose not only Valentin's location, but also implicate Carly in harboring a fugitive. The Anna Devane factor, adding another compelling dimension to Valentin's motivations for staying in Port Charles, is the situation involving Anna Devane. When Carly recently informed Valentin that Anna was supposedly away on a WSB mission, the expression on Valentin's face told an entirely different story. He didn't believe it for a second, and his skepticism is rooted in solid information and intimate knowledge of Anna's recent history. Valentin is fully aware that Brennan had forced Anna to resign from her position at the WSB, leveraging some ancient double-agent history involving the notorious DVX organization against her. This forced resignation is precisely why Anna had accepted the position of Port Charles Police Commissioner in the first place. The transition wasn't a voluntary career move or a desire for a change of scenery, but rather a necessity born from Brennan's manipulation and blackmail. Valentin understands the full context of these events, which means he recognizes that any claim about Anna being on a WSB mission is almost certainly a cover story for something far more sinister. His instincts and knowledge of the intelligence community tell him that Anna is likely in serious danger, possibly being held against her will or coerced into doing Brennan's bidding. Dual motivations for staying. This revelation gives Valentin not one, but two powerful reasons to remain in Port Charles despite the significant risks to his freedom and safety. First, he needs to complete his mission with Carly to neutralize Brennan's threat once and for all. Second, and perhaps even more urgently, he needs to locate Anna and free her from whatever situation Brennan has orchestrated. These parallel objectives mean that Valentin will be sticking around town for the foreseeable future, creating the perfect opportunity for those secret meetings with Charlotte that everyone is anticipating. The logistics of these potential meetings raise fascinating questions about how they might be arranged and where they could take place. Will Valentin be the one to initiate contact with Charlotte, sending her coded messages or signals to arrange their rendezvous? Or will Charlotte's sharp intuition and investigative skills lead her to discover her father's hiding place on her own? Given Charlotte's resourcefulness and determination, the latter scenario seems entirely plausible, if not probable. Charlotte's discovery. There's compelling evidence to suggest that Charlotte may have already figured out or will soon deduce that her father is hiding with Carly. After all, this connection isn't as far-fetched as it might initially seem to outsiders. The relationship between the Casadini and Spencer families has always been complicated and intertwined in ways that create both conflict and unexpected alliances. Charlotte could rationalize that seeking refuge with Carly makes perfect sense because they're family through the connection between their mothers, who are cousins. This familial tie, however distant, provides a logical explanation and a degree of trust that would make Carly a viable ally in Valentin's time of need. If Charlotte does show up at Carly's residence, looking for her father, it would put Carly in an extremely difficult position. She's already taking enormous risks by harboring Valentine in the first place, and having Charlotte showing up regularly would exponentially increase the chances of discovery. Every visit would be another opportunity for someone to notice, another chance that a neighbor might see something suspicious, or that one of Carly's own family members might unexpectedly drop by and stumble upon the truth. Lulu's fury unleashed. Meanwhile, the situation with Lulu Spencer promises to explode into full-blown drama when she discovers evidence of Valentine's presence or communication in Port Charles. General Hospital spoilers strongly indicate that Lulu will be absolutely livid, experiencing a level of anger that could rival some of her most memorable explosions from the past. The source of this fury could very well be her discovery of a mysterious key that Carly had left for Valentine as a signal or sign that he was safe and that plans were proceeding as intended. The key itself has become a central mystery in this unfolding drama. What exactly does it open? When Valentine gave it to Carly, she didn't seem to fully understand its significance or purpose, suggesting that the key holds meaning primarily for Valentine and possibly for Charlotte. The fact that Charlotte immediately recognized the key and understood what it represented as a sign from her father indicates that this isn't just any ordinary key, but rather something with specific significance to their relationship and shared history. The key's significance. Could this key open a building or location where Charlotte and Valentine have met before during happier times? Perhaps it's connected to a safe house that Valentine had established years ago, or maybe it unlocks a storage facility where he's kept important documents or resources. The possibilities are numerous, but what's clear is that the key serves as more than just a physical object. It's a symbol of communication and trust between father and daughter. A tangible connection in a situation where direct contact has become dangerous. Family tensions escalate. On the same day that Lulu makes her discovery, another family confrontation will unfold when Rocco Falconeri delivers an ultimatum to his father Dante Falconeri. This ultimatum is likely connected to Dandy's increasingly problematic attitude toward Joe Palmieri, creating tension within the Falconeri household that mirrors the larger drama surrounding Valentine and Charlotte. The timing of these events suggests that family loyalty and interpersonal conflicts will be major themes throughout these episodes. The following day, Wednesday, December 17th, will see Lulu finally unleashing the full force of her anger, no longer able or willing to contain her frustration and fury over the situation. Whatever she's discovered or concluded about Valentine's continued presence in Port Charles will drive her to take action, potentially putting everyone involved at risk. The day after that, she'll receive backup and support from Nathan West, suggesting that her concerns and accusations will be taken seriously by other family members and law enforcement. The confession mystery. One crucial question that remains unanswered is exactly who Charlotte will confess to about her meetings with her fugitive father. Logic suggests that she wouldn't voluntarily admit anything to Lulu, Dante, or Nathan, knowing that they would immediately try to stop her from seeing Valentine and would likely alert the authorities about his location. Charlotte is smart enough to understand that confiding in any of them would be counterproductive and would only result in her father being captured and arrested. However, there's a very real possibility that Charlotte might be caught red-handed by Carly herself at Carly's house during one of her secret visits to see Valentine. In this scenario, Charlotte might feel compelled to admit the truth to Carly, especially since Carly is already complicit in harboring Valentine and has her own reasons for wanting to keep his presence secret. This confession to Carly would be less about guilt and more about acknowledging a shared secret among allies who all want the same outcome. Carly's attic hideaway. The logistics of Valentine's hiding situation add another layer of intrigue to this storyline. Carly has been harboring him in her attic, a decision that came after she discovered him freezing outside in her shed and took pity on his desperate situation. This act of compassion has now evolved into a full-fledged conspiracy, with Carly providing Valentine with shelter while they work together on their mission against Brennan. The attic location is both convenient and risky. It provides privacy and concealment. But it also means that Valentine is trapped in Carly's house with limited mobility and no quick escape route if danger arrives. The tension between Carly and Valentine became evident during their argument on Monday, December 15th, when they clashed over the issue of Carly leaving Valentine alone in her house. Valentine's concern is understandable. Every time Carly leaves, there's a possibility that someone might show up unexpectedly and discover him. Carly's frustration is equally valid. She can't remain home constantly without her arousing suspicion, and she has her own life and responsibilities to manage. This conflict highlights the inherent challenges of their arrangement and the constant stress they're both under. The risk of discovery. Carly's anxiety about potential discovery is well-founded and constantly present. She never knows when Brennan himself might decide to drop by for an unexpected visit, perhaps suspecting that Carly knows more than she's letting on about various Port Charles intrigues. Equally concerning is the possibility that Jocelyn Jacks, Carly's daughter, might show up without warning, as family members often do. Jocelyn's presence in the house would be particularly dangerous because she knows Carly well enough to detect when her mother is hiding something, and she's perceptive enough to potentially discover Valentine's hiding place. Beyond these immediate concerns, there are countless other people who might have reason to visit Carly's house at any given time: friends, other family members, business associates, or even service people making repairs or deliveries. Each potential visitor represents another opportunity for Valentine's presence to be exposed, another chance that their carefully maintained secret could come crashing down around them. The constant vigilance required to maintain this deception is exhausting for both Carly and Valentine, adding psychological strain to an already tense situation. Charlotte's likely confidant. Given all these factors and the complex web of relationships and motivations at play, there's an extremely strong possibility that when Charlotte finally makes her confession about meeting with her fugitive father, the person she confesses to will be Carly herself. This outcome makes sense from multiple perspectives. Carly is already deeply involved in the situation. She has her own reasons for protecting Valentine, and she understands the importance of family loyalty and love. Charlotte would recognize that Carly, unlike Lulu or the police, wouldn't immediately betray her father's location or try to prevent their meetings. Furthermore, if Charlotte's secret meetings with Valentine are indeed taking place in Carly's attic, then Carly discovering these visits would be almost inevitable. The house is Carly's domain, and she would eventually notice signs of Charlotte's presence or catch her during one of her visits. Rather than viewing this discovery as a disaster, it might actually provide an opportunity for the three of them to coordinate their efforts more effectively and establish better security protocols to prevent exposure by others who wouldn't be so understanding or cooperative. This developing situation promises to deliver intense drama, emotional confrontations, and high-stakes intrigue as Charlotte navigates the dangerous waters between protecting her father and maintaining relationships with her mother and stepfather. The coming week will be crucial in determining how these various storylines intersect and what consequences will result from the choices these characters make in impossible situations.